Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So we are only hours away from this huge FOMC meeting, and Bitcoin is reacting pretty darn good ahead of it. Right now, Bitcoin is above 60,000 once again. So what can we expect tomorrow? Well, for me, it's the same day, but for you guys, tomorrow, we will get the FOMC meeting and we will finally know how much Fed Powell will cut the Fed fund rate. But right now it's looking pretty good. So let's look at what's going on, right, with markets today and what to expect. So, first of all, like I said, 60,100, that's not a bad place to be. Just days ago, we dropped down, right, into the 50s. No reason. And climb right back up. The US market obviously is doing good. Right now, the prediction is still saying 67% chance for a 75 basis point cut. No, 50 basis point cut. I forgot. 50 basis point is going to be, it's looking like that's what's going to be, right? Of course, Elizabeth Warren says 75 basis point, which is why I got confused. Whether that's going to be true, probably not. There's not even a percentage point for a 75 basis point cut. So that's out of, just out of possibilities. 25% basis point, 30 at 33%. That's fine. So it's either 50 or 25. But right now it's looking like 50 basis point, which is fine by me. And it does seem like the market is anticipating that, although I just saw that this could be, okay, even though we know it's a big FOMC meeting, this could be the most uncertain FOMC meeting ever, meaning that Wall Street really does not know, even though there's estimates, right? But the market is really uncertain because there are cases for both 25 and 50 basis points. And some people start arguing that, hey, we get a 50 basis point cut, it's not going to be good. That means that Fed Chair Powell realized how bad the economy is. So some people think that 50 basis points is actually bad. It's a Trojan horse. We don't actually want it, right? That's why there's like a lot of debate on what is going to be and how good is each one, like how markets react. We just don't know at this point. But what I do know is this: I earlier this week I told you guys prepare for volatility, and volatility will go both ways, right? And we did. We saw some volatility go to downside, and all of a sudden we now volatility to upside, right? And we're starting out the week above 60,000 or midweek at 60,000, and that's not bad. That's not bad at all, right? And of course, there are many that are loading up, right? That's why Bitcoin's at 60,000. ETFs like BlackRock, finally, in 2 weeks, they haven't had an inflow. Now they had finally a pretty decent sized inflow. But we know BlackRock already holds like 20 plus billion, right? That's not the issue. And we know that even countries like Bhutan now has like close to $1 billion in Bitcoin. El Salvador, like 400 million in Bitcoin. We know MicroStrategy is buying 700 million more Bitcoin because they're raising a 700 million convertible notes offering, right? So we know the long-term holders, and now we know the ETFs, the institutions, the countries, they are all loading up right now, right? So you just got to read in between the lines. You got to put two and two together. Why are so many loading up on Bitcoin? There has to be a reason. Do they finally truly understand what Bitcoin is about? Some, yes. And some, short term, are thinking that the FOMC meeting will be good for markets, right? So short term. But there are many that truly understand and just wants to buy Bitcoin and hold it long term. That's really it, right? Now, something else that's really good, and we know this. September is historically the worst month for Bitcoin, but I told you guys, it doesn't have to be. We could actually see a green September because of the FOMC meeting, right? But if we're looking at quarters, Q3 traditionally, not a whole, no, it's not a good quarter, right? So if you look at so far, we're down about 7% for the entire quarter. Last 2 years, same thing, down 11%, down 3%. It's not horrible. Some years were great, but this time, first time we're having a rate cut in 4 years. That could certainly change things and bring us to the upside. But here's the thing, what happens afterwards? Q4 is historically great. Really, really great. Starting in October, and we're weeks away from that. That's another reason why I think so many are loading up, and why retail investors should be paying attention, why retail investors need to continue to focus on the future, forget volatility, forget all distractions, and continue to DCA and HODL. That's it. That's really it. There's no other magic formula. That's all I do. I got some stories to share with you. Last night, I was at a really interesting networking event slash party. Yeah, let me get through this and I'll share with you. What else is there? Okay, this is talking about the M2 money supply. Again, one of those metrics that show, hey, Bitcoin correlates with how money is overall. And the more money there is, the more Bitcoin goes up. And look at what's happening, right? Um, if this is true, since the money supply is starting to go up in a major way, what do you think is going to happen to Bitcoin, right? I mean, put two and two together. Here's a pattern showing we're in a bullish flag, and that's about to execute. And lastly, I'll show you this. This is what it looks like prior to the parabolic run, which Bitcoin is about to enter. This is why I tell you guys again to ignore the volatility and stay a course and continue to DCA. Now, I will say, like I said, I was at a Token 2049 speakers party, even though I'm not a speaker, but it was, I was invited and I was at someone's house. Beautiful house. If I had to guess, that house was at least like $5 to $8 million. It was like a 4 level house, indoor, outdoor. We had a couple hundred people there. Strangely enough, the owner of the house, um, she actually recognized me because she's a fan. She's a longtime fan. She couldn't believe that I was at her house. So Token actually rents her house for this party. Shout out to Regine. But I had a good time. It was probably the best networking event I have gone to so far in Singapore, simply because of all the people I met there. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.